What's up, guys? Welcome back to another stream. It's been a week or two since I've streamed last, and some things certainly have changed on YouTube. The algorithms have been switched around so much that really the only thing that get views these days are people who drink or chug liquids, and this tier lists. So shout out to iDubbbz. If you don't know him, obviously he's the inspiration for this. For everyone that's coming out with tier lists right now, whether they choose to admit it or not, are getting the idea from iDubbbz, and nobody's crediting him for it. But I'm not that guy. So shout out to iDubbbz. Thanks for the ideas. In today's video, this is going to be eventually a video, but it's a stream for you guys. The reason I'm doing this instead of uploading a video is because I want to see the live stream chat, what their opinions are. So if I pick out a helmet, I want you guys to put in the chat like A, B, C, D, F, whatever. Put it in the chat so I can kind of get your idea as I'm making my decision too. Mentally, I think I've already came up with my list. I know there's some really good helmets in here, and there's some really not so good helmets. So here we go. If you guys are ready, I'm ready too. Just to give you guys an idea, once we're done ranking these 32 helmets, I will end the stream, but I'll probably come out with a gaming stream for you guys later on tonight, if I can. So let's jump on right into it. We're gonna be I didn't organize it this way, but apparently the way it's set up is we're starting with the NFC side of things, and then we're going to move to the AFC. So first up is the New York Giants. The New York Giants have actually a really nice, clean, and you'll find out more and more about me as we go through this list of helmets and stuff, that I really find beauty in simplicity. Just because you have a lot of action going on your logo doesn't necessarily make it better. Simplicity is really good, and with the New York Giants helmet, it's really good. I think it's simple. I like the red and blue color scheme. It goes quite well whether they're wearing the blue tops or the occasional red tops that they're known to wear once a year. I think it's a really nicely designed helmet. I like the subtle red stripe that goes over top. I'm gonna go ahead and I see a lot of people in chat saying D and C. I'm gonna go ahead and give that an A. It's a really, really nicely designed helmet. Like I said, it's simple. Moving on through the NFC East. Next team up is the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a helmet that I think is nice, but really hasn't changed throughout the years. It screams 1990s to me. It's one of those helmets that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of what they're going with. I get it. I think it's a really nice shade of green. I like the fact that it's got the wings over top. You don't even have to be a football fan to know that those are eagle wings. So for the design aspect of it alone, and that's all we're going off of. We're not going off of how good these teams are, just the design of the helmet. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a B. Only because they haven't changed much. You got to be able to improvise and adapt. Some of these teams have tried to change their helmets and it's gone horribly bad. Jaguars. So moving on to the Redskins helmet. It's unfortunate Chris isn't in here. That's his actual favorite team. I happen to like this helmet as well. It's got a lot of outrage over the recent 5 or 6 years because of its apparent racism or whatever, but I really like the maroon and yellow color scheme. I think it looks really good. I like the fact that it's got a yellow face mask. I don't think that white would have worked, or maroon or black. I think everything about this helmet is actually spot on the way it's supposed to be. There was quite some thought put into it for sure. going forward, if they do change the logo, I could see them kind of doing what the Browns did and going with a solid color with really no logo, or maybe just putting an R on the side, you know, to signify the Redskins. But if they do get away from that logo, I think the grade will drop from what I'm about to give it, but I'm going to give it a B, just because it looks so good and it stood the test of time, you know, and looks really good to me. Up next is quote unquote America's team's helmet, the Cowboys. How's it going, guys, in the chat? Welcome, B-Man, Chickers. Feel free as I'm going through these helmets, type in the chat. What grade do you think the helmet deserves? Again, we're not going off of the team skill, we're going off of pure design. Just the design aspect alone. All right. So again, next up is the Cowboys. I think this is a staple of a helmet. You can look through the recent years, not much has changed. They tried to switch around the colors a little bit. I know they have an alternate one where it's all white with a darker star, but the silver, it's got this gunmetal look to it, all silver, slight blue stripe over top with a navy blue star on the side. I think it is probably the most iconic, if not the most iconic helmet in the game right now. And it's just simple design, simplicity is beauty. So I'm going to give that an S tier helmet ranking. Moving up next to the Seattle Seahawks. I will say I do like the new design that they've come up with. If you don't know what I mean, with this picture alone from what you're seeing right here, you probably can't tell. It's like, what's different from this Seattle Seahawks helmet versus the one, I don't know, 8 years ago? Well, what they did with this one is actually really cool. They implemented, you know, a Seahawk is a bird, so they implemented over top, instead of having a stripe, what they did was they put this little design that looks like bird feathers. It's a really, really nice added touch to it. I do like the matte finish to the helmet. The Seahawk logo has remained the same. Nothing has changed there. But I do like how everything works in unison. I do believe that's a black face mask. Everything just melds well with this. So I'm going to go ahead and give that an A. I really like the feather touches. I really like that. I see a couple of you guys put B. You would have given that a B ranking. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Next up is the LA Rams helmet. Call me old school, but I kind of like the one prior to this one, the generation prior, the one that had, if you remember, the gold horns. It's essentially the same helmet, they just switched up the color. So now we have the white horns, but I like the gold horns a lot better. I thought it was a really cool looking helmet. I don't know why they went away from that. So for that reason, while it would have probably gotten an A from me before, I'm going to put it in a B. And I can see a lot of you guys really don't agree with me there. One of you guys actually put that S ranking. I disagree. I don't think... I just like the thought of rams. Like, I think it's cool to have a ram with like gold horns. I don't know. That's just what I think. You guys feel free to share your input in the chat. I'm seeing it live. So next up is another iconic helmet, one that probably has not changed for good reason. No need to change. It tells you everything about it. You can see the SF, the San Francisco 49ers logo. You know where they're from. I think the red works really well with the gold scheme. I do like the thought of them eliminating one of the stripes up top. I think they had red and black, or no, they initially had only red, but they added a black stripe to it to kind of accent the red a little bit more up top. But I feel like they need, it's one of those logos, and you'll hear this from several of these upcoming helmets. It's one of those logos that's in desperate need of an upgrade, or at least an update, if you will. It's kind of stuck in the past. It works, it's serviceable. but it's not really, doesn't have the glamour that some of these other helmets do. So for that reason, no, you guys are putting it in the S. I'm going to disagree with all of you guys and put it in the C tier. That's just my opinion. Upcoming helmet is the Arizona Cardinals helmet. It's essentially a all white helmet. Really nothing special about it. It's got a picture of a cardinal with a slight kind of like RBF look to it, but I think it's awfully similar to some baseball logo. I'm not really big into baseball, but I feel like they could do a lot more than that logo. Again, I said simplicity is king. Simplicity is beautiful, but I think they took a page out of someone else's book and put their own little stamp on it. So it needs a change. I don't like it that much. It's too plain for me. So it gets a D ranking from me, unfortunately. Moving up next is the Minnesota Vikings. I really like the fact that this team has taken a step forward and making all their helmets, even their alternate uniforms, with a matte finish instead of a glossy look, similar to how the Seattle Seahawks helmets are. It's really nice. I really like the fact that the color scheme works so well. Purple and black always goes well. Believe me, if I'm a Ravens fan, you know about purple and black. That's an awesome color scheme. The logo, I mean, the Viking horns that come out of the side, I think that looks really good. I really have no complaints at all about this helmet. I think it's really well made. The color scheme works well with pretty much anything they wear. Whether they wear the purple tops and the white bottoms are all purple, I think it looks really cool. And to me, being an old school dude, it reminds me of the Purple People Eaters back in the day. It just got this really intimidating look to it. So I'm going to give that an S tier. Next up is a team that I've grown to watch a lot in my years. I only moved to Vegas 2.5 years ago. It feels like yesterday, but it was 2.5 years ago. Prior to that, I lived in Chicago. So, you know, these guys were always on TV. The Chicago Bears. I think it's one of those things, kind of like their baseball neighbors, the Chicago Cubs. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This helmet screams everything Chicago to me. It's blue collar, it's navy blue, it screams hardworking, you know, keep it simple. It's not a city of lights. It's not anything. It's not trying to be anything that it's not. It's a great helmet, and it's iconic. Just looking at that logo, you think back to the '85 Bears and the Super Bowl shuffling crew. I don't think they're ever going to have to change anything about this. I think it'll stay this way until many of us probably won't be alive anymore. I think if they put any other logo other than that C, they'd be doing the city and their team a great disservice. I'm going to give this an S tier because that's an iconic helmet, and it just looks really good. It's perfect the way it is. Next up, the last, second to last team in the NFC North is the Green Bay Packers. What's the chat think about this one? What are you guys thinking? For me, I do like the fact that it's yellow. You know, me being from Chicago, we always drove up north to Wisconsin, and every single stop they advertise cheese. The helmet to me kind of reminds me of cheese, if I'm being honest with you. With the giant G on it, it is what it is. It tells you everything about where the team's from. I think red or yellow and green it's a pretty decent complementary color combo. It's pleasant to look at, and just the fact that they have a green face mask to go along with it, it's almost perfect. In my opinion, it's almost perfect. I think if they go from this to kind of like what we saw up here with the Redskins, imagine that kind of color combo, making the face mask the same color as the helmet itself. I think we'd be in S tier territory, but it's almost perfect. Not quite yet for me. I'm going to give it in the A tier. All right. Final team in the NFC North is B-Man says that it's perfect. Of course you think it's perfect. I like I said, I think it's getting there, but it's not to the point of perfection yet for me. What's up, Conrad? What's up, Lucas? What's up, Only Ravens fan? How's it going? Next up is the Detroit Lions. Man, oh man, someone in their design team has really been hard at work in recent years. If you didn't notice, they have made a subtle change in their color combo as far as their helmet goes. Prior to, I think 2-3 years ago, they had 3 stripes on the top of their helmets. It went blue, black, and then blue again. You can kind of see it in the picture there. But what they did was, and they also had a black outline on this lion that you see on the side of the helmet. So what they did was they completely eliminated the black from the helmet completely. So now it's just blue, nothing, and then blue, and there's no black outline on the lion. I think it's a really clean logo. You don't even have to be a football fan to appreciate this, because if you're watching Thanksgiving TV, you're going to see him on TV, more likely than not. I think it's a great looking logo. It's very pleasant to look at. This color, this shade of blue that they use on the silver, it really pops. I like it. I'm gonna give it S tier. All right, moving on to the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons. This is a helmet that has been around for a while. If you've seen the prior iteration of this Atlanta Falcons helmet, you would say that it is horrendous. It's awful. It is. It was very blocky. It was very sharp lines, straight edges. It looks like a third grader drew it. They went ahead and updated it a little bit to where now the Falcons logo, if you pay attention, it kind of, the wings and the head of the Falcon actually spells out the letter F. It's a really nice, subtle touch. However, I think as the decades go on, I think they're in store for a new update. I just don't like it. It's a very, very busy logo. There's a lot going on. Everything's too convoluted. I think they can update it and make it more simpler, but it's just really, really, to me, it just seems outdated, and I don't like it. I don't like the current logo as it exists right now. I think everything else could go well with the black on black, black face mask on black helmet. It's just they need an updated logo. And it's not really pleasant to look at. I'm going to put it in the D column. Moving on to their nemesis is the New Orleans Saints. It's a really nice color scheme. I like the fact that they wear black a lot during their home games. I think all black is the best look you can go with in the NFL as far as football uniforms. It's not a bad look. Recently, they've been getting a lot of hate, just like the Redskins, because they found that this symbol, even though it's been around since like the 13th century, they're finding that it's racist for some reason. I don't know the history behind it. I know that there's a lot of outrage. But I think it's a good looking helmet. I really have no qualms about it. But again, it's one of those teams that could use an upgraded logo. Maybe something that they can keep the same logo, but maybe add something to it. I don't know. I think it's a great looking logo, though. I'm going to put that in the A tier. And a lot of you guys in the chat agree with me, too. Next up is the Buccaneers. Now, aren't you glad, if you're a Buccaneers fan, aren't you glad I'm basing this only off of helmets? Because those jerseys you guys got are horrendous. Probably the worst jerseys in the NFL right now. I'm not even lying. But the helmet is clean. I like the brownish silver type gunmetal helmet. I like it. The logo is probably the largest logo of any football team. Like the helmet is like 90% or 10% helmet. The logo makes up the rest of the 90% of the helmet. It's a humongous logo. You cannot mistake it for anything else. It is what it is. It's the Buccaneers. Not much needs to change from it. I think that's a great looking helmet, aside from the jerseys, of course. But based off the helmet alone, that's A tier from me. Next up is the Carolina Panthers, topping off the NFC South, and actually the entire NFC. After this, we'll move on to the AFC. This is a logo that's frozen in time. This logo is truly frozen in time. It's locked into the early 1990s. It needs an update. I don't like the way this helmet looks at all. It's really old. It's just, there's not much going on with it. It's not exciting. They can at least update the picture of the Panther. They can put out a vector. There's a lot of you guys that can draw a better Panther than what's on the helmet right now. So I think it's in desperate need of an update. It's going to go D tier from me. Next up is the New England Patriots. One would say probably one of the most iconic helmets, just like the ones you see up in the S tier right now. You cannot mistake it for anything else. I think the red on silver look with the helmet is a bold look. I think it's a power move, just like seeing a dude with a red tie. Shout out to Donald Trump. You see a red tie, you think power, and they are a powerhouse team. But we're not going off of that at all. We're just going by looks. The logo, it shows a colonial guy with the red, white, and blue. I think it is the Patriots. It is what it is. I don't think I would ever change anything about it. I hate their guts. I hate their players' guts. I hate the management's guts. But it's a great looking helmet, in my opinion. And I hate the team. So that says something. I'm going to go ahead and give that an S tier. Just because it goes well with so many different color schemes that they go with. And like I said, the red on silver, it's a nice little combo. I like that. All right. And moving on through the AFC East is the Miami Dolphins. How's that a reach, Chickers? What are you talking about? That's not a reach. That's just my opinion, man. How are the Pats higher than the Bucks and Packers? Look, man, it's just my opinion. That's all it is, dude. That's all. All right, moving on. And then after this, I will tell you which one of these is my personal favorite. What I think is the best design, best looking helmet. Next up is the Miami Dolphins. I don't think anything's really crazy about this. They have moved on a little bit. They've changed colors. I like the aqua color scheme with the orange. It's a nice color scheme. It works well together. The Dolphins logo, though, needs updating. They've been using it and recycling it for such a long time. But the color and everything kind of resembles the University of Miami. Same kind of colors that they use. And the helmet itself, all in all, represents where it's from. You look at this and you think Florida, you think Miami, you think of hot weather. You can kind of see the sun in the logo too. But it's been around for a while. It's serviceable. You know it's the Miami Dolphins, but you don't really care anything else beyond that. I'm going to give that C tier. The New York Jets this year have come out with a completely new color scheme. Double R needs serious help. Go away. The Jets this year have completely changed up their color scheme. They're going with all new helmets. If you remember what last year's and previous helmets were, it was a white helmet with pretty much the same logo, but in green. They've gone with the complete negative, which is known as a complete reversal. They've gone with an all green helmet this year with the white text and white logo. I think this would be a really good look. I do like the fact that it's a glossy helmet. I don't know if a matte green with the white overlay would have looked good. So I think they made the right decision there. I do like the black face mask, but it's okay. I don't think it's great. It's slightly above average. So what's average? C? I'm gonna give it slightly above average to me. We won't know for sure till we see it out in the field. None of us have seen it in play yet. But on paper, off of pictures I've seen on Google, looks pretty good. I will say, I do like the new Jets uniforms. They look pretty sick. They're barely a darker shade of green, but it looks really good. It's a really nice color. Finishing off the AFC East is the Buffalo Bills. This is a really good looking helmet. Again, they've done everything that they needed to do. You look at the logo, you think Buffaloes, right? Right away, you think Buffaloes. It's perfect. I like the fact that it's a white helmet with a gray face mask to accent it. And they've got blue stripes over top. That's a great look as well. This is a really good looking helmet. The team should be proud that they wear it because actually, there's not a single Bills uniform that's ugly right now. This helmet goes well with the all blue as well as their all red uniforms because of the red accent on the helmet. So you got both bases covered. I think it's a really good helmet. I'm going to go ahead and place that in the A tier. Coming up next is a logo I'm not too crazy about. It's been a while. It's been around since Elway days and earlier. They really have had no reason to change it for whatever reason. I'm just not a fan of the helmet. The helmet can't decide whether or not if it wants to be black or navy blue. And you really can't tell either way. Some games you'll watch, if you watch a daytime Broncos game, it looks like it's navy blue. You watch a nighttime Broncos game, it looks like it's all black. It's really outdated. I don't like the look of it. I think it's gonna be up there with the previous teams I've mentioned that are in desperate need of a new logo. We can clearly see it's a horse. It's a Bronco, but they need an update. I'm gonna put them in the D tier for now until they change. Up next is the San Diego Chargers. A lot of you guys are gonna probably crucify me for this, but I'm not too hot on these. I think it's overly simplistic. I call them San Diego Chargers, the LA Chargers, my bad. I think they're overly simplistic. I think what really could have set this helmet off, but it doesn't, is a face mask. They have updated their jerseys to where there's not much implementation of the navy blue, yet the face mask is navy blue. I think had they gone with a white helmet and this kind of like light powder blue look to it, a light powder blue face mask on a white helmet, that would have been sick. But they opted to kind of like Frankenstein this helmet together. The navy blue kind of comes out of nowhere, doesn't accent anything else on the helmet, makes absolutely no sense. But it's not terrible. It works. I'm going to give it an average score, give it a C rating. The Kansas City Chiefs. This is a logo. Whoever designed this was a genius. It's the ode to the Native Americans with the spearhead. It's got the KC font in there. Tells you everything you need to know about the team. I think the white face mask on the red is good. The only thing is the logo probably needs to change. And it's only a matter of time, right? It's only a matter of time till the logo changes. I think once the Redskins logo changes, this will be up next to be changed as well. Because believe it or not, people find this logo offensive too. But people find anything offensive these days. I think the way it looks right now, it's okay. It's nothing exciting, let's be honest. It's a red helmet, nothing exciting. The logo doesn't really catch your eye at all. I think they need to make a logo that catches your eye. And doesn't have to have this KC in it. We know who the team is. We can have a simpler logo, maybe just a spear. Who knows? But until they do change anything, it's going to get an average score from me. So C rating it is. All right. Next up is the current Oakland Raiders, soon to be Las Vegas Raiders. And believe me, I'm not too happy about the team moving to Vegas because I know the community and the environment's going to go to crap. And I know it's only a matter of time till we start seeing cholos running around with knee-high socks and jean shorts. But until that happens, we're going to rate this iconic helmet. It is iconic, no matter how you feel about the team. It is an iconic helmet. Literally nothing has changed about this helmet in years, but it works. It works. You see it. The logo says Raiders. It's got a picture of a Raider with the swords in the back and the eye covering, the eye patch. It's a good looking helmet. The silver on silver look looks great. I think what could have made it better, the only thing holding this helmet back from becoming an S tier, in my opinion, is the fact that the face mask kind of matches the helmet too much. Had they gone with a black face mask on the silver helmet, S tier all day. But until then, it's getting an A from me, which is great. It's a great looking helmet. Nothing needs to change from it. Next up, we're going into the AFC North. Boy, oh boy, the Cleveland Browns. You kind of have some people who already going to be like, oh, that's too simple. That's got to be an F, right? But like I said, simplicity is beautiful sometimes. The only thing that the helmet has really is a white stripe surrounded by 2 black stripes up top, as well as a black face mask. However, they're one of those teams who have gotten too comfortable, I think, with this. Their team is average. Well, maybe soon to be above average. The helmet doesn't say anything to you. It's just orange. It's not even brown. Let's be honest. It's orange. I don't know. I think it's an average logo. I'm going to give it some credit and say that it's gotten a little bit more popularity. Usually it would be a D for me, but I'm going to give it a C. It's just an average helmet. It's simple. It doesn't pretend to be anything that it's not. It's just an orange, plain Browns helmet. That's it. That's all it is. I don't think you guys are ready for this one. The Baltimore Ravens. It's a picture of a bird's head with a red eye with a B on the side, signifying Baltimore. However, this logo screams 1996. We are stuck in the past, people. We need an update. We are just like the other teams I mentioned need an update. This logo needs to be updated. They've tried updating it before, but they got into a lawsuit because they actually copyrighted someone else's drawing. That logo was going to be sick. Look it up sometime. Look up the Ravens lawsuit for stealing a logo. But it needs an update. I gotta be honest with you, it's not a great looking logo. I'm just gonna put it out there like that. It is not a great looking logo. It's got way too much going on. It can't decide if it wants to be purple or if it wants to be dark blue. Ravens fans who watch games, you know what I'm talking about. Whoever makes those stickers that go on the helmets, they change colors. It's really weird. They change colors in the light. And also too many colors. Gold, red, yellow, blue, purple, white, black. Too much. Too much. Simplify it. It's the Ravens. They could do so much. They can put the Maryland flag back there. Don't even get me started, Ravens fans, about them removing the Maryland flag badge off the center field. I'm not happy about that. But this logo, I don't think is great. It's old. We kind of got past it. We got the point. We need an update. Believe it or not, it gets a D from me. It's getting a D from me. It needs an update badly. Badly. So that's where we're at with that. Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers logo. Thankfully, the picture you're seeing right now is the side with the logo. If you didn't know this, Steelers helmets only have logos on one side. It's on the right side. The left side is completely black. The rest of the helmet is completely black. I think sometimes they have a yellow stripe that goes over top, but it is what it is. It's Steelers logo. It's iconic, and it works. It's got the team name in it. It's got the 3 stars in it, surrounded by a white background and a gray outline. Some call it boring, It's not glitz and glamour at all. I mean, it comes from a blue-collar city, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's simple, but it gets the job done. And I'm going to give it A tier from me, just because it doesn't need to change. Some people say why the logo needs to go on both sides. I think it's good the way it is. I don't think anything has to change. I think it looks good, in my opinion. Next up is the Cincinnati Bengals helmet. Call me crazy, but of all the ones we've seen right now, as well as the 4 that are to come, this helmet, coming from a Ravens fan, this helmet is easily the best looking helmet in the NFL right now. It tells you everything. They look like tigers. Heck, Andy Dalton half the time doesn't even need to wear a helmet. He could just paint black lines on his red hair. He's good to go, Jack. The helmet, I think is the best. The black face mask to accent the black tiger stripes on the helmet looks great. No complaints. There's nothing at all they need to change about this logo. It's perfect. It's S-class for me. Coming up next, talk about never changing. The Colts have never, ever. Let me rephrase that. They're not the Colts. Indianapolis. Is that better? It's the Baltimore Colts. Don't get that confused. Indianapolis has never changed the logo, but it works for them. We look at it, we're like, okay, that's Indy. You know, they're a bunch of farmer boys who like football. It is what it is. It's average. It's nothing crazy. I think the only thing keeping it not so plain is the blue stripe over top. Imagine if it was just a white helmet with the horseshoe, kind of like how the Cardinals have all white with just the logo. I think it would have been down in D tier, but because it's got that blue accent over top, I'm going to give this just an average rating. Put that in C tier for now. Colts stole our logo. They sure did. All right. 3 helmets to go. And continue to appreciate Racing Fan, Mookie, Matt, Lucas B. Appreciate you guys giving your comments in the chat. Let me know what you think they belong in. All right, next up is the Houston Texans. Texans, everything big is always bigger in Texas. Not necessarily better, obviously, but it is bigger in Texas. I like the red, white, and blue, and the star with the bull's head on there. It screams Texas to me. They did a great job. This is a light navy blue, similar to the navy blue that's actually on the logo. They went with a black face mask. I think it looks good. I really have no complaints. I think it's a really, really nicely designed helmet. The only thing I would say preventing it from perfection is maybe the face mask. I think they need to take a chance, or take a risk, if you will, and mix it up a bit. How about let's make the face mask red to go along with the red in the logo? I think it's just too simple, in my opinion. Not great. That's it. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier for now. It's simple but kind of ugly. Lucas, you're right there with me, but it is above average. All right, Tennessee Titans fans, let's talk. Why? Just why? Why'd you guys make the change? You had a good looking helmet before. The white helmet with the teal, the tar heel blue, and the T. The logo looked good on a white helmet. Why change it? I think this is probably the ugliest helmet I've ever seen. It goes with nothing. Even their uniforms don't go with this helmet. I don't know what the decision making, who greenlit this program or this idea. It's awful. It's going to get an F from me. There's nothing that goes well together here. It has a chance if they go back to the white helmet with the same logo. They have a chance, but it's an ugly helmet. Finally, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Remember when I think it was 2014 where they came out with the two-tone helmets, the ones that were yellow in the front, black in the back, and some weird, it was like the same logo. That was ugly. I would have given that an S tier. But this logo has not changed in the longest. It is ugly. It's just extremely ugly. I do like the all black look, don't get me wrong. I think the face mask and the helmet, perfect. Yeah, the old Jags logo was booty. I agree with you. Nothing I would change about the all black look. I think it looks great the way it is. The only thing holding this helmet back is the doggone logo. The logo was just so terrible. It's ugly. It's ugly to look at. And they got a good team down there in Jacksonville. They deserve better than this. The city deserves better than this. I just don't like it. I think it's ugly. I'm gonna give that F tier. So there you have it. That's my opinion. Screenshot this, tweet me if you would have changed anything at all or what you disagree on. I'm sure you're going to disagree with plenty, especially if you're one of the teams, a fan of one of the teams in the F, D, or C tier. I'm a Ravens fan. I gave my own team a D. I'm just being honest with you. Ugly is ugly. Being a fan aside, ugly is ugly. Simple as that. So tweet me what you disagree with. As well, you can go into my Discord, tweet me any kind of ideas for other tier lists that you want to see my opinions on. I have Snapchat as well. I put that in my Twitter as well. You can reach me all kinds of ways. All right? You can reach me all kinds of ways. Let me know what other tier lists you want me to do. And stay tuned for a gaming stream and probably more tier list streams coming up soon. Until next time, this is Reigning Ravens out. Jesus bless all you guys. And go Ravens.